Hi everyone! On today's episode we're going to dive into a very interesting topic, distribution in the mountain bike industry. We are in Nuremberg, Germany, a place that may some of you remember for the famous Red Bull District ride. When we talk about distribution, there are so many models out there. You have direct sales, you have traditional distribution, you have a mix of both, and of course you have the internet, which plays a very crucial role in this game. In order to have a better understanding about this topic, we're gonna meet with the guys at Cosmic Sports, one of the coolest distributors out there. So let's go check it out. Hi Daniel, here we go.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you very much for having us today. We're very excited to start a little tour of this amazing place.
Welcome to Cosmic Sports.
Okay.
Glad you made it, and I show you around.
Okay, thank you.
Come on in.
Okay, so Gareth, first of all, thank you very much for having us today.
My pleasure.
It's really interesting to see the way how you operate. But I would like to ask you just to have a little bit of historical background when you started, because talking with Daniel, he told me that it's a 21 years old company. That means that you were one of the pioneers of the mountain bike industry in Germany.
Okay, thanks for the flowers. I don't see us as pioneers. Because I didn't start the sport, I did not bring it to Europe, but I was using it, especially in the mid-'80s. There was this trend, mountain biking, coming over from the US, but it was hard to get bikes. I subscribed Mountain Bike Action, and again, there was no email, no internet, so you had to write kind of a postcard, send it to California, and it took ages to get the first magazine. I think it took 4 months or so, and I did a 24-month subscription. So, and I still have them at home. It's really nice to see how the industry has changed. Yeah.
This is the dealer book from 2017.
You can't call this a book. It's too big to be called a book.
And we are not tired in producing such a piece, which is 3,300 grams, as it actually says on the cover.
That's crazy.
Okay, let's do it.
I am very bad.
Okay, wow.
One of the very cool thing about Cosmic is the fact that you have a lot of brands. So we saw your catalog. It's like massive. It's more than 3 kilogram catalog. So it's not very easy to get in your catalog, and when you get in your catalog, it's a very strong partnership, a very solid base, I would say.
When we started in '97, as a startup, it's really hard because you have no reputation to impress possible business partners. So in the beginning, we only had a few brands which we still carry. So SDG seats from Huntington Beach in California, Ritchie, and a few others, and also a mountain bike brand. And 6 months later, the mountain bike brand announced that they have to step away from us because of margin pressure, price pressure. They decided to go direct. So overnight, we lost 70-80% of our revenue. For me, it was clear, okay, we have to suspend this loss of this mountain bike brand, and we need new partners. So I was running around like crazy. I wasn't panicking, but I was a little bit desperate. If you are a nobody, it's really hard to break the ice. But I had some smaller results. I was able to get in touch with Salsa. It was also Surly and Single Aider, which is a tool, but still not enough to survive. Then we got Tomek on board. A friend of mine, a dealer in Duisburg, he called me. He knew I'm going to Vegas again, and he called me that night and he said, "Gerhard, have you heard John Tomek is releasing his own brand?" So from a public telephone, I called them. And a public telephone in the US is a little bit strange because you make first the connection and then you have to put in the coins, as you know from the movies. So I called them and I said, hey, this is Gerhard from Cosmic Sports. I'm interested in distributing your brand. Can we set up a meeting? And they, typical US guys, yeah, absolutely, come by tomorrow. We would love to see you. And then I said, you know what, Gerhard, how would they grant the famous John Tomek, how would he grant to a little nobody his brand? So I came like that, assuming that they won't grant me the business anyway. And I made an introduction and explained where I'm from, what is my vision. And then they said, yeah, brilliant, we will make a decision later and come by tomorrow again and we tell you the result. Next day, again at breakfast, I thought, I'm not in the mood for getting this personal no. Really, it was so close that I didn't go to the room again. So finally, I made it there. And then they said, yeah, congrats, Gerhard. We are happy to grant you the distribution rights for Tomek bikes, it was not a huge business, but it was another milestone in terms of reputation and cosmic awareness in the German and Austrian bike scene. Because magazines came, I visited magazines, they had a nice story to tell. So Cosmic became a little bit more relevant to the bike scene. And you have to understand, we were like a little guerrilla company, while there were and still are very well established bike distributors, like a Cosmic nowadays. Yeah,
It's a lightsaber, right?
Yes and no.
It's not a lightsaber.
In fact, it's a
barbecue tool.
It's a barbecue tool which you can open at some point, and it even makes the lightsaber noise. So this is the other part of the heart of Cosmic Sports, as I told you. We're in the Outgoing Goods department with Frank. We started both together 10 years ago, and he's running the Outgoing Goods department. So on average, we are shipping about 350 boxes a day, which can go up in main season to up to 500.
And I'm sure you went through a point where the market was changing completely.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you think about, I don't know, internet, direct sales, how many brands are going direct? I'm talking about more bike brands.
Yeah.
Like some of them direct online, some of them direct with distribution, so they want to deal with dealers directly. Yeah. So, which is your point of view on the market changing this way?
Okay, I'm old enough to say that we have started without internet and without email. You may remember when you opened the bike, there was a 2 or maybe sometimes a 4-page advertising with very little letters written, hundreds of items for always a crazy low price. And then the online guys came, and then it's good on one side because we want to grow, and if they are growing, we are growing. But it's not good if you see that at the same time your existing little bike shop is having a hard time because he cannot compete. Online guy, they can reflect my catalog from A to Z. So, and also little screws. If you look to some of the North American companies we carry, they have one part in 12 different colors and in maybe 5 different dimensions. How can you show this product in a little shop? I do appreciate the fact that we have a good mix still. So we have still 3,500 active accounts in 1 year. We have maybe 20 key accounts. I would say we have them all. We have department stores. We have sport and outdoor giants. We have our well-known online giants, and we have 3,500 IBDs.
Now we're here in the main warehouse of Cosmic Sports, where we have all the goods. The Chris King headsets and hubs, which then for a lot of people it's like a, like a toy store, you know, and then you have physically here this beautiful Chris King hub, which then is here stored in the warehouse.
Something that I hear very often is that the dealers don't want to take any risk because they want something that, let's say, that sells by itself. It's easier to sell.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, as a customer, as a rider, I do trust my dealer a lot.
Yeah.
So I believe that they do have a huge potential to sell what they want if they believe is a better product, and their customer will follow them. I have the feeling sometimes that the dealers just sometimes they give up their powers on the customers, and I don't understand why.
You are right when you say the dealer don't want to take a big risk. Who wants to take a big risk? I'm neither, you know. It leads back to the fact lack of space, lack of finance. On the other side, they love to wave a trend or to surf a trend. So if there is strong demand for either a product category, like a few years ago, dropper posts, they were super hot. Nowadays it's cooling already down. If you have had a good product, the dealer was relatively open to spec it. But whenever it comes to either a brand which is not well known, or where they not know, hey, is it demanded or not, then they rather say, I pull it on demand. And therefore it's so important to have a hot product or a hot brand. And you are also right when you say that the dealer is not willing to take or to invest a lot of time to convince a consumer that this is the right product. The consumers, they may have a good knowledge out of what they find in the internet or in the special interest magazines. I would say it is really important to have a brand where there is consumer demand, and the dealer has a good feeling with it. They don't like to test waters that much anymore. For good reason. Maybe they burned their fingers a few times.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the early 90s, mid 90s, when you walked into a shop, there were glass cabinets full with high-end stuff. Chris King hubs, titanium parts, a lot of shit, thousands of euro, Deutschmark were parked in these glass cabinets, and it was really nice. But there was no internet, so there was a good reason. You went to a shop to see the products, which led into traffic in the shop. Nowadays it's different. If I want to see a product, I jump on the internet first, and then it's important that I may have a local partner where I can touch and feel the product again. If the local partner is not there, or if the product is not there, it can happen, or it will happen, that the consumer says, I order it online, because it's faster.
So Geir, thanks very much for having us. It was very interesting talking to you, and also, I would say also very inspiring, learning more about your background, your history as a businessman. And we have a little present for you. It's a special, something you can put maybe in your desk.
Like Christmas for me.
Yeah, it's a special Cura Cosmic Sports edition for your desk.
Look at that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Hope
Beautiful,
you like it.
Beautiful.
So,
now this makes me really, really proud, to be honest. The relationship with you guys is so beautiful. You are one of my oldest suppliers, and we went through several ups and downs. I mentioned that earlier, like a marriage, a real partnership, and I hope we stay together for many more years.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. It's for a brand like us, it's a privilege to partner with a company like yours, with Cosmic Sports, and I'm sure whatever it takes, we will have a bright future together. Well, that's all for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell down here to get notifications for any future episode. See you next time.